Hey guys, welcome. So this is going to be really useful to you. We're going to really, as I've been rumoring for the last few weeks, go really crazy on the equivalency statements. You've seen them before. We've been practicing the last couple days, probably maths, things like that. Uh, but this is the one where we really get into how do you change things size. So you may have noticed there's really tiny measurements like a nanometer, and there's longer measurements like a kilometer, a megameter, anything like that. This is the day where we learn how to go between those different things. So I'm going to move along. You're always free to pause the video and finish taking notes or whatever. Please write down any practice problems we do. It's really good to have practice problems to refer back to do things. I'll show you a couple different ways to do different things along the way. I'll show you different things in the calculator. Get a calculator if you don't have a calculator. So anyway, here we go. Okay, so as a reminder, equivalency statements, anything that tells you that two things are equal to you, okay? One dozen is the same as 12, like 12 eggs or 12 donuts or whatever, right? 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. One car has four wheels, one spider, eight legs. You can use these statements to translate between those things. If you know you have 16 legs, you can figure out you have two spiders. If you have five cars, you can figure out you have 20 wheels. You get the idea. So now you can do that all in your brain, but we're going to be getting into really complex numbers. So even when it feels easy, I need you to show the equivalency statements, show the railroad that tells us what to do. Okay, here we go. You should have this sheet. This is your notes for today. You need to do the practice problems too. You can use these notes on, you can copy parts of this chart or whatever on notes for a test. But these are the different units we'll be using. Um, you probably know some already, like centa, like centimeter, or a cent, like a cent for a dollar, like 100 cents make a dollar, right? A cent, basically like 100 is 10 to the 2, right? $1, you see how that works, right? So here's the equivalency statement, right? Like for centimeter, 10 to the 2 or 2 to the 10 to the 2 centimeters is equal to one base unit meter. Now, here are the different base units down here, okay? Grams, meters, liters. So you can have a centimeter, you can have a centigram, you can have a centiliter. You get the idea, right? So, but 10 to the 2 of centa anything is equal to 1 liter, 1 meter, 1 gram. And here's an example of that. 10 to the 2 centigrams is equal to 1 gram, okay? So you probably heard of milli before, like millimeter, right? Well, it's 10 to the 3. So 10 to the 3 millimeter is equal to 1 meter. Here's that exact thing written out. Okay. Micro, maybe you've heard of before. Micro is 10 to the 6. It uses this weird thing that looks like a U with a tail in front. And in that case here, I think it's supposed to be an M of some sort, or probably a Greek or Roman symbol of some sort that's similar to an M. But we are already using two M's. We got millis M and the mega M, right? So this is the micro M. So, but 10 to the 6 micro something is equal to 1 of the base unit. Okay. So 10 to the 6 microliters is 1 liter. Okay. Nanos 10 to the 9, super tiny now. There's 10 to the 9, which is like, is that a billion? I think it's a billion. Yeah. So this is a million. It's a billion. So a billion nanograms, nanoliters, or nanometers, a billion of them is just 1 liter. Okay. Kilo, you've heard of before. Like 10, it was 10 to the minus 3 kilometers or kilometers is 1 meter. Okay. So, and the same deal with mega is 10 to the That's it. Okay. So let me go highlight some things in here. So again, the base units are here. You need to know these are the different base units. And then down lower on the page here, heading off the bottom. There. Okay. Okay. So this right here is a big equivalency statement for everything. Okay. So this keeps coming back. I have to share it. Okay. Anyway, come on. 1 second. Let me just go share it. share that. Okay. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So this is, you remember that giant equivalency statement that we used before for pressure? So it was like 1 atmosphere is 764, which is 760 millimeters mmHg, which is 14.7 psi. You get the idea, right? So this is the same. These are all basically this stuff right here put into one thing. Okay. So here is 1 gram. Now it doesn't need to be grams. It could be meters. It could be 1 meter here, 1 liter, right? So, but 10 to the 1, 10 to the 1 base unit is equal to 10 to the 2 centa, which is equal to 10 to the 3 milli, which is equal to 10 to the 6 micro. You get the idea. And if you go the other way, 10 to the minus 6 mega, and so on. Okay. So some people really respond well to this. That has all the information, but you use whichever part of this chart makes the most sense for you. Okay. We're going to use these numbers and props in a second, so we'll see how we go. Okay. So just as a reminder, this is the same thing as the previous page, but you can see here that 10 to the 9 nanometers is 1 meter. I know that because 10 to the 9 nano is 1 base, right? And 10 to the 3 milligrams is 1 gram. Again, milli, 10 to the 3, and the 3, 1, right? Okay, cool. And it's the same down here, same number down there, right? Okay. And then 1 mile is this many feet, and wrong one. And then 10 to the minus 3. Oh, this is worth bringing up. So most of the base units, like grams, you got meters and grams and liters. There's a couple you'll see that are weird from time to time, like calories. Okay, works the same. Kilocalories is 10 to the minus 3. Because 10 kilo is 10 to the minus 3, but they're calories. It's 1 calorie. Sometimes you'll see in physics, you'll see newtons. This one I use a computer one. I don't think there's any other problems at all, but I just wanted to show you. But a megabyte, you may have heard like gigabytes and tetrabytes, and well, a megabyte is 10 to the minus 6 megabytes is 1 byte, which is super funny. So right. Okay. Hopefully this is all making sense so far. Let's get to the practice problem. They're on the next page. Okay. Oh, this is just so we can refer back to. Okay, here we go. So our first problem here is we're trying to figure out how many megagrams are in this many grams. Okay, so you're going to set up the railroad every single time. So let's set up the railroad together. We copy the number over 304.5 times 10 to the 5th grams. Okay, then we railroad it. Railroad. Dink. Okay, now you ask, what are you getting rid of? Well, we're getting rid of grams, and we're going to megagrams. Now you use your chart, okay? So if I was going to go back a couple slides here, 1 second, go back some slides. Go. So mega is 10 to the minus 6 is 1 base unit, okay? So, yeah. So 10 to the minus 6 is equal to 1 base unit. Okay, so now it's all set up. But now it's just a matter of putting it in your calculator, okay? So I'm going to show you for this calculator here. You use your calculator. It might be the same type, okay? So you start by putting the front number in. So I'm going to type in 304.5, okay? 304.5, okay? Now, the exponents will always figure to trick people. So same thing as all year. You're going to hit the second button here. And then down below, there's this, it's the -1, but there's an EE over it. You want that EE? So I have an E appear there. That E means times 10. So it's 304.5 times 10, and it looks like to the 5th. So it's 5, and that's that. Okay. Now, I need to multiply it because 10 to the 6 is on the top. 10 to the 6 is on the top right there, right? 10 to the 6 is on the top. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I go times. Now, some people's calculators, I'll do it this way, need a 1 in front. So you can't just go straight 10 to the 6. So you put a 1 in front there, and then I'm doing that EE thing, and I'm doing that again by hitting the second button, and then down here, this button right here with the EE. I put the E there, and it's -6. Now, trick thing here, you need to hit the minus on the bottom, not subtraction, but negative button. So negative, I'm doing this upside down here. Is it backwards? I don't think so. I need to turn off here. So this is how we enter it, right? So the one is just, it's a placeholder in front. My calculator doesn't need the one, but many do. And then this means E means times 10 to the -6, and you hit enter, and I'm getting my answer, 30.45. Down, okay, 30.45. Now, that is almost full points, okay? You need the final unit. We want to do megagrams, so you need megagrams. That would get you full points, okay? If you're going for extra points and being amazing or whatever, you'd move that over, and you go 3.045 times 10 to the 1, and don't forget megagrams. And the end. Cool? Okay. Now, remember to rewatch, like if you get confused, rewatch this segment because I'm going to highlight all the little bits, okay? So now, this time we're going kind of the other direction. We're going to do our base unit here, which is meters, okay? We're coming from millimeters, okay? So I start here with 0.350 times 10 to the -2 millimeters. You railroad it. The rule is whatever you're getting rid of goes on the bottom. So millimeters goes down here. Just like we got rid of grams, and grams goes down there, they cancel out. So millimeters. Okay. We're going to regular meters. Now at this point is where you need to go back and look at your chart. Give me a second while I do that. Going back with my chart, milli here is 10 to the 3. You can also look down here at the bottom, and it's all like on top of that. Milli is right here. Milligrams. Oop, there you go. Milligrams 10 to the 3. Okay. So milligrams or millimeters. So milli is 10 to the 3 for 1 meter. Okay. Now, what are you going to enter in your calculator? Well, you start with the front number, right? Start with the front number, which is 0.350. Okay, 350. Sorry, hopefully you can see this. I know it's in the corner of the screen, but I'm trying to make it as big as possible. Okay. Then you do the exponent, the second button here, and then for me, the EE. Okay. And it's -2. So you use the negative at the bottom, -2. Okay. So I got the front number. Now, this part, people screw up. Notice it is on the bottom. So that means you're dividing. Up here, it was on the top. You multiplied. Bottom is divide. Okay. So you're dividing. Okay. And I'm going to put the 1 in front. Okay. And then exponent. So I have that with the E. And then it's +3. So I end up with that. Okay. Hit enter. And I get this super tiny number because it takes it all out of scientific point. 5 zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 3, 5. Okay. Now, if you put the right unit, we solve for meters. You put meters after that, you get full points. If you want extra credit on the test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as I thought, and I need 3 sig figs, so 3.50 times 10 to the, I said 6, then 6 spot on -6 meters. Okay. So, anyway, if that's the way you're doing it, that's great. So, anyway, hopefully that helps. Now, just as a reminder, the way you set it up is you copy the number into the upper left. We did that in both cases. Number into the upper left with the unit. Whatever you're getting rid of, goes in the bottom. It goes in the bottom. Okay, cool. That'll cancel out. Whatever unit you're going towards, goes in the top. Goes in the top. Okay. Now, you look it up on the sheet, right? Mega was 10 to the -6. So you wrote that there. Milli, when you looked it up, was 10 to the -3. So it goes in the bottom. And it goes in front of Milli goes in front of mega. Mega goes in front of mega. And then it said one base unit there. Okay. If it's on top, you're multiplying. If it's on bottom, you're dividing. And you have to know how to enter in your calculator. And ta-da, you get the right answer. Okay. So this is the end of segment 1. Okay. You are now cleared to go ahead and do the first 9 questions. Please do that and then watch the next segment of this video, which will show you how to do the hard questions. Okay. That'll be like 10 to 12 stuff. So anyway, good luck. Hit pause. Okay. I'll put the screen here. Okay. Okay, welcome to segment 2 of the video. Okay, what you'll notice now is different is we're dealing both ways. We're going from one prefix unit to another prefix unit. So the prefix is like milla here, going to killa. They're both prefixes. From nano to killa. Okay, both prefixes. Okay, so we'll do a couple like this. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. There's it depends which is harder with what way your brain makes sense. Okay, one is definitely shorter. Okay, so but we'll show you both ways. Okay, so it starts off the same way. Okay, you start by copying down the number you have. Okay, so you have 200.0 times 10 to the minus 11 kilocalories. Okay, cool. Now we railroad it. Railroad. Okay, now we're going to get rid of kilocalories. Okay, we don't need them. Okay, get rid of them. And we're going to go to millicalories. Millicalories. There you go. Now, we can't, so there is a way to go straight there. We'll cover that in a second, but I want to show you the longer way first. Okay, so now you before know how to go from kilocalories to base units. So you can go from kilocalories to calories. And you look up kilo, and kilo is 10 to the minus 3 and 1 calorie. And you're like, oh, I know regular calories. So then you can get rid of regular calories. So kilo is gone. Now we're getting rid of regular calories, and we're going to go to millicalories. Okay, millical. And look at milli, and milli is 10 to the 3. Okay, and 1 there. And then you go through and you take this number, and then you divide by this, and you multiply to that, and you get the right answer. Okay, so that totally works. Okay, so there's a slightly shorter way, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that right now. Okay, so if you go back to your page, and I will do that in this right now. So if you go back to your page, the one here with the chart, we have this big equivalency statement here where it says, so here is kilograms, which are the same as kilocalories, right? It's grams, right? And here's here's milligrams, okay? Or it could be kilo is up here, there's kilo right there, oop, and mill is up here, right? But they're all equal to one base unit, and they're all equal to each other. So you can just go straight from one to the other. You don't actually need to go to calories in the middle or whatever base unit. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So what that means is, so race. Okay. Okay, here we go. Boom. Sorry. Okay, so what that means is, so you can go straight from kilocalories to mcals. Okay. And what you do is you look up kilo, 10 to the minus 3, and you look up milla, and milla is 10 to the positive 3. And then you can just enter it straight in your calculator. Okay, you don't need to go, you don't need to go to the middle unit along the way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start entering it. You try 200.0, and it's important you try it too because watching me do it's one thing, but hitting the right buttons and learning your calculator so you can do it in the test is a different thing. So, and then you need exponent, and then it has to be negative 11. So I hit the minus 11 here. And remember, to get the exponent would be the second, and then the E run, or E on yours. You just need E to show up. The E is times 10. So that's good. Now, we need to do 2 things here. We need to multiply by the top and divide by the bottom. We have to do both those things. Okay. It doesn't really matter what order. So I'm going to go ahead and go times. My calculator doesn't need the 1 in front, but yours might. So you might do 1 and then E, but I'm just doing 1. So there it is, times the time. E is times 10, so times 10 to the 3rd, and then I'll go divided by, get the divided by sign, divided by sign, and then I'm going to do exponent again, negative 3. So when I hit enter, I end up getting 0.002. Okay. So let me go here, and I'll write that down, 0.002. Now, if you put the final unit there, mcal, that is worth full points. Yay, good for you. But you could also do this for extra credit. We need to go ahead and put it to the right number of significant figures. It looks like we started with 4 significant figures. So I have to have 4 significant figures times 10. So I moved it 1, 2, 3 spots, minus 3, and don't forget the mcals. So that would be awesome. Okay. So now down here, let's do the next one. Okay, there's only two that are kind of like this. We're going to go to nanometers, and we're going to start with kilometers. Okay, so I'm going to start with my front number. So 0.00021 times 10 to the 25 kilometers. And we're practicing the big exponents because we're going to start later in this unit count how many atoms there are in things, and that's going to be times 10 to 23 and things like that all the time. Okay, so you go ahead and you railroad it. Whatever unit you're getting rid of goes in the bottom. You can do the two-step one when you want to go to regular meters, and then you can go over all the way to nanometers you want, or you can just go straight to nanometers. It's whichever you choose. Now go look them up in your sheet. Okay. So if we're going to go back, we're going to go look up kilometers and nanometers. Second, kilometers and nanometers. So kilometers, again, is 10 to the minus 3. Sorry, just writing over it. And nano is 10 to the 9. Okay. So back to this. Nano is 10 to the 9, and kilometers is 10 to the minus 3. Okay. Just like it was in the last one. This is kilocals. This is kilometers. Okay. So now it's a matter of entering in your calculator again. I'm just going to type in that in pretty fast, 0.00021. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the E. And then times 10 to the 25th. Now I have to do both things. I have to multiply by the top and I have to divide by the bottom. So I'm going to go times, and you could include a 1 in front. Some calculators need the 1 in front, and then e to the 9th. So that would be the way to do 10 to the 9th. Or you can leave the 1 off depending on your calculator. Mine doesn't need it. And then I divide by. Don't forget the negative sign, not subtraction. Subtraction will give you error message. So you use the negative, like mine's right down here, negative. So use that. Okay. So the answer I'm getting here, and this is marvelous because it's already all perfect for extra credit, is it's 2.1 times 10 to the 20 to the 30. Okay. So it looked like I have two sig figs already in scientification. I just need to add the unit nano. Feel awesome. Okay. So you're now good to go for the next several questions, okay? The ones where you go from one type of prefix like milla to another prefix like killa. There's several questions like that. I think it's 3 or 4. Give those a go, okay? When you're ready to get to like real world questions like eggs and dozen and stuff like that, then come back and watch the third and final segment. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the screen up. You pause the video and go ahead and do the next segment. This is a 2-day assignment, so you may be doing this. So here we go. So the last and final segment is how do you go from real world problems like eggs and dozen, there'll be once a time before. And it's similar, but you have to really think about, you have to use your brain for the equivalency statement. Okay. So let's go ahead and start it. Okay. 34.5 times 10 to the 3 dozen. You need to write out the unit. Okay. Get rid of whatever unit starts here is the one that goes in the bottom. Get rid of dozen. And we want to know eggs. Okay, so eggs in the top. So what I mean by you have to use your brain is you need to think about how many eggs are equal to how many dozen. Okay, so think about things being equal to each other. So there's 12 eggs with 1 dozen. So it's just a matter of picking up the calculator at this point here, and you go 34.5 times 10 to the 3. Okay, and you. I haven't done this. I think I did them all beforehand. This one. And times 10 to 3. No, I did that wrong. 10 to 3. And then you have to multiply it times 12. Okay. So because you multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. And the number I'm getting is 414,000. Okay. Now, really quickly, you need to put eggs there. If you want extra credit, you need to have 3 sig figs. So that's 4.14. And then you move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 10 to 5. Okay. And then you have, so that would be the extra credit level. So there's 2 more problems in the next pages that I want you to see. Second here. Clear the screen. Okay, these last two. Here we go. How many legs are there on 170.4 times 10 to the 54 spiders? Oh my God. They'll like bury the earth with spiders. These stuff creepy. Okay, 170.4 times 10 to the 54 spiders. So railroad it. Spiders would go on the bottom. You put legs up here, and you'd use your brain. Think how many legs are worth how many spiders, and you're like, oh, it's 8 legs and 1 spider. So you need to take this long number, and you'd enter it into and you'd enter it in your calculator, and you'd end up with this number after 1.3632 times 10 to the 57. Okay. So don't forget the unit. Like that's great if you just copy that down. Now, if you wanted the extra credit, make sure to ditch. It's only 466. You get rid of the 2. Okay, so do 1.3363 times 10. Now, this last one will be really important because we're going to start doing multi-step equations. Okay, these are all the one step. Okay, but you're going to go from years to hours. And I know you are a smart person and could just multiply it in your calculator, but you need to show the multi-step calculation because, and then when you get to the back side of the sheet, you're going to have to kind of think things through on multi-step calculations, and they get a little bit harder. Okay, so let's start this. Let's figure it out. Okay, so you need to get a game plan. So you know how to go from years, and you want to go to hours. So you know how to go from years, and you can go to several different places from years. Okay, you can go because you don't know how many hours. You can multiply it, but that's kind of like doing the problem. So to go from years to hours, you can go from years to days. You can go 365 days. You go to months, 12 months. You go to weeks, 52 weeks. Any of those are great. I'm just going to do weeks. Okay. If you did it a different way, you did days, that's actually quicker, and you get a slightly different. Okay. Though we stick things in my work. So from weeks, you can go to days, right? You know how many days are in a week. Okay. And then from days, you can go to hours. Yes, so that's kind of our game plan. Okay. Let's start with 5.2 years. That's where we start. We railroad. This is where it starts looking actually like a railroad. So you're going to get rid of years. And I said weeks. Again, you can go to days or whatever you want to, as long as you can, in your brain, know what those two things are equal to. And I know that there's 52 weeks in 1 year. Okay, so we're done of years. Years are done. Years divided by years, get rid of it. Okay, now we're at weeks. We need to get rid of weeks. And whatever's on top, remember, is whatever goes in the bottom. So we want to get rid of weeks and we want to go to days. So you have to ask yourself, how many days are equal to how many weeks? Well, 1 week is equal to 7 days. Okay, so now we're done of weeks. Yay, goodbye weeks. Okay, here's the next level of railroad. Okay, so we have to get rid of days. We have days up here, down there. And how many hours are in a day? Well, there's 24 hours a day. Okay. So we made it all the way to hours, our goal. So we're there. Now we just need to put it in the calculator. And you go 5.2 times 52 divided by 1 times 7 divided by 1 times 24, and you can ignore the 1 here too. So when you multiply them all together, I get this giant number here, 454,272. Okay. Now I want first. If you write hours after that, you totally get full points and feel awesome. Okay. However, if you want the extra credit, you go one level, which you want 2 stick figs. So and then you'd want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be 4.5 because we want 2 stick figs. 2 times 10 to the 5th hours, and that would be worth 4 points. So hopefully that helps you. Some of the ones in the backside are tricky. Do your best, work with each other, try to figure it out. Thank you guys so much, and feel free to rewatch this if you need to. Thanks.